That's one of the biggest turnoffs for me. A lazy one.
Whoa, a gunshot
heard that.
from somewhere.
Thank you, Lord. The Lord heard that.
For real. Yo, what's good? Welcome to the More or Less Podcast. More or Less Podcast. You're in it. You're in it. We here. It's the More or Less Podcast. Oh yeah, come chill.
Hey.
Welcome. Y'all know how we get down. You got your girl Sub, you got your girl Kat, and you got your girl Wit. Thank you so much for being here. And we got production in the back. Hey. Let's go. We show appreciation now. Round chill. So y'all know how we start. We starting with stereotypes.
First stereotype. Dark-skinned people don't like being outside in the sun. That is true. I don't know why these two ladies want to do this at high noon when it's hot. I'm sweating. I'm melting.
That was not part of the scheduled program.
But we live on location. So if y'all see me over here, dabbing, it's why I'm sweating.
A little dab will do you. Well, now we have myth busted for you. So for today's stereotypes, things that studs shouldn't do. Are there things studs shouldn't do? I.e. getting pregnant, carrying, and having a baby.
That's a good one.
Some people think that because you take on a masculine energy, that studs should not, or it's real taboo for them to carry and have the big old belly and the big feet and all the wonderful things that come along with carrying. What y'all think? What say ye?
I'm gonna go ahead and go first.
Okay, come on.
My opinion, I don't care what you title yourself or call yourself, you're still a woman at the end of the day. If you're gonna have children, have those kids. Don't worry about what nobody else got to say.
Yes.
Okay, them probably the ones that think everybody that they dated kids was their kids. They got my bad. So basically that's my opinion.
Well,
if you want to have children, have children.
I believe the Holy Ghost has entered
the
the room.
We got the organs. I bleed every month. I'm a female. Okay, don't let these clothes fool you. So have your kids. Don't worry about what anybody else got to say.
Facts.
And that's a word.
Period. That's a word. The Cash App, we're gonna put it below. No, I'm playing. We don't even have no Cash App yet. Y'all's presence is currency for us. But okay, what you got to say? Son?
I certainly agree with Kat. At the end of the day, we in the gay community, we got so accustomed to applying roles to relationships, gender roles. Like, just because we're masculine presenting does not mean that we want to be men or we desire to be a man.
Fact.
Now, truthfully, embracing who you are and all of your femininity, even no matter what you wear, embracing who you are and knowing that you're a woman, that's a great ass gift that is given to you, the ability to bring forth life. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Just because I wear my clothes a little, I shop in the men's department, doesn't mean that carrying a baby should be left up to my partner. And every time, people talk about whether Tiny and I are going to have babies, or, y'all going to have kids, Tiny, you ain't going, why you don't say Sub? You're not going to get pregnant? Like, I love the fact that I'm a woman, and I would love to go through that process. I just haven't found the person that I wanted to raise a child with up until this point, Otherwise, I would have carried, before. But I'm older now, so that would be the only reason why Tiny would carry is because of my age. But miraculous things happen all the time, right? Janet Jackson, she carried at 50. So should mine decide, we get to that point where we're ready to do, babies and want to naturally conceive, I wouldn't mind being the one to carry at all.
And you know what? That's dope, because it brings into light how when we tell people or we imply what people should or should not do, or what is a characteristic of what they identify as, it can even be offensive because you are limiting a human being. People who were created to exceed boundaries. So when you say, okay, you're a stud, it looked real odd for you to be pregnant. Oh, I thought you thought you was a man. Like, at the end of the day, you should never make assumptions based on somebody's identity. Just like you shouldn't be making assumptions based off of someone's race. That's just, they're equally as ignorant, aren't they? That's right. So I agree with the homies. You have the gift and the ability to bring forth life, and it's what you were created to do. And along with that, everybody has their choices. I'm at the end of the day, some may consider me a femme, they may consider me an aggressive femme, a STEM,
every day is a new
all
something.
of the things, right? All of the things, but I myself, I don't want to physically carry. Right. So that's a whole So that's a whole other thing that has like a stigma where people are like, but nah, it'll change your life. Like, I understand, but just like you have your choice, I have my choice. So I shouldn't have to explain why my choice is not to physically carry. It's just my responsibility to make the right decisions. And my wife, who cannot wait to be pregnant, and I cannot wait to cater to her pregnant, and not me. Praise the Lord. So we got our choices. You got your right. Do what you do, boo boo. Be you. We done moved on. We gonna talk about relationships. But first, we know you peep it. Talk to him where we at. Where we at, son?
Yo, we got Queen City on our back, you know what I mean? Representing Charlotte. Let's hear what y'all had to say, y'all, all of our Charlotteans that tunes in on a consistent basis. Let's see, we're going to talk about relationships, right?
Relationships. They asked
some hot questions again.
Y'all on fire.
Names. No names.
Right. We don't say no names. So, the relationship question this week was dating, right? Should studs take on, or masculine presenting women, dominant women, should they take on the financial burden of dating and being in relationships? So should the stud always pay? For the people who like it simple, should the studs always pay? Woo! Should the studs always pay? You see, don't nobody want to say nothing. we ain't nobody jumping the answer. Right? Because I know my homies and myself, we done got caught up at some point in taking on some financial burden, even when it's not asked for. Why do we do it? Is that maybe the more befitting question for us? Why do we take that on? Is it because we assume, or we, not even an assumption, but since we take on a masculine presenting energy, we say, okay, a part of masculinity is financing, it is providing, is that? But then we talk about we don't like roles. So what do we say for real?
I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that one first.
All right.
I'm not gonna hold it in.
Don't hold it.
Me.
Don't you never quench the spirit. Let it move you.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way. Should we always pay? No. I don't feel we should always pay. Do I always probably end up paying? Yeah, but that's my choice. Now, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, and we equally yoked.
I like that. That's important.
May do dinner. She may do lunch. She may pay for breakfast. I may pay for brunch.
We does that.
We go back and forth. It just depends on what we doing. And sometimes we may fight over who got the ticket. That's the kind of relationship I like.
Right.
Now, if I just met you back in the day in my 20s and I just seen a little tenderoni, my age coming out.
It's all right.
But if I seen somebody else, back then, I might have been like, hey girl, let's go out to eat. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. This, that, and the third.
You
but
was the Mac daddy.
I ain't gonna say all that, but I did pay. However, that showed me some people were only interested in you because of what you could do for them and not you in particular. So as I got older and wiser, I ain't do that no more.
I know that's right. I know that. Reciprocity.
No. So my answer is no. We should not always pay.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And even for me, being androgynous or whatever, I still, just the type of person I am, I like to be able to provide. I like to be able to give of what's mine. And of course, who do you want to give to the most? You want to do, oftentimes, I would hope it's your significant other. So yes, I pay for a lot of things, all that, especially if I'm able. But just like Kat said, I believe in being wise and making sure there's reciprocity, okay? If you see that we done had a nice little dinner, you see they scoot that bill and that thing is hollering, and you be like, you know what, baby, I got this one. What do you? The joy that leaps into our soul when you dance break. Yo, like that is a blessing. That just shows that you appreciate the fact that there's someone who loves to give to you, So absolutely, reciprocity. I'm with it. What you think? What you think?
No, she gonna pay for everything. I can see it right here. I can see it. Everything. I'm just kidding.
I don't need your money. Your money ain't no good here. No, I'm playing.
86-year brain. No, oh God, this is a great question because I view the whole paying for things and picking up the bill or footing the bill thing from different levels. Like one, when I wasn't as wise, like when we were younger, I wasn't as knowledgeable and in tune with myself and things like that. So it was like, if I'm going to take a shorty out, I got to court her, date her, like as if I am the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would do that back in the day. So that's a dating aspect.
Yeah.
And it seems like, okay, if a feminine chick desires a masculine presenting chick, they kind of have the expectation that
provision.
the woman, they want that alpha-ness and that, you know, they don't want a man per se, but they still want that
production
aspect,
is saying amen.
You know what I mean? They still want that aspect that the man is typically known to do from a woman. You understand? And we kind of just slide right in that position and be like, you know, I'm going to pick you up, shorty, open up your car door for you, shorty, and do all those things. But in a relationship, things tend to start to look different.
That's true.
So in a relationship where we're open and clear about our finances.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? In a very settled relationship, our finances are typically joined and merged.
Yep.
So now going out looks like we have an account for going out. You understand?
We pay rent?
That we all contribute, that we both contributed.
You know, the light bill we just paid like that.
And we contribute to a bank account for going out in proportion to what we bring in. Then no one's footing the bill. Particularly, we have a card that foots the bill every time we go out. So it looks a little different. But should you just go into a situation and expecting, like, at the end of the day, I find studs to be a bit more sensitive and bitched out than femmes most of the time. So it would make the stud feel good when the femme is footing the bill. And then you have a lot of immature and not self-aware and not healed studs who find women, femmes, who got it all going on.
That's true.
Who got the crib, got the cars,
so they can get taken care of.
So that they can get taken care
That's
of.
another stereotype.
You know what I mean?
A lot of studs, particularly younger, I would say, like to find
a sugar mama.
They don't work. All they do is play PlayStation all day, and they on the couch while the femme going to work.
While the femme is going right.
But if that works in your relationship, that's fine.
But is it working? See, now that's my opinion coming out. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So what do y'all say about that though? I mean, how do you feel about studs who let their femme take care of them while they stay at home and they're driving to work, drop them off, and they like Joe?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, just because the femme, all right, just like a man, there's like typically a man, some men enjoy providing and taking care of their woman, right? There may be a femme, just because she's a femme doesn't mean that she does not enjoy caretaking and babying that stud. You know what I mean? They might like that. There's a lot of femmes that really like the baby and
I want you to have children.
I
want you to have children and let that grown stud.
They have, mommy, daddy
fulfill
issues.
some responsibility.
Those are mommy, daddy issues.
That's just me.
That is true. On the flip side, there are people who like to take care of the women.
So
as for me in my house, I don't care if I am if I make the most money, you make the most money. At the end of the day, we both going to work. Okay, I don't care if you volunteer at the shelter.
Okay.
We're both going to be doing something.
So it don't even have to be traditional. Right.
Do something with yourself.
Entrepreneur. Have you a passion?
Fact.
Volunteer at the church.
I feel that. How do you?
Right. And you're not
church always loves some free help.
No, this don't be laying up in the house. That hurts my soul when somebody does that. That's one of the biggest turnoffs for me. A lazy one.
Whoa, a gunshot came from somewhere.
The Lord heard that.
For real, where did gunshot come from?
That's one thing that just really hits me.
Absolutely. I'm with that. Yo, tell us what you think. Number one, should studs be okay taking the financial responsibility? If you're a stud, do you enjoy taking on financial responsibility? Does that offend you at some period where your femme doesn't offer? Like, tell us what it is. Femme, do you like to take care of a stud?
And if you do, drop your information out there because I'm sure there's plenty of studs.
We know a couple studs who could probably use a little feminine sugar mama.
No,
yeah, that's good.
Absolutely. If you made it to the end of this segment right here, drop a comment, give us your feedback. Don't just watch and keep it moving. Like it, leave a comment, give us a fire emoji, a more or less emoji.
More or less.
But interact with us. We love you. We appreciate you for watching.
Yes. This segment is over. On to the next. On to the next. We got fan favorite question of the week. 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 Fan favorite question of the week coming up right now. That was hot. I like that. It's fresh every time. I love it. So, our question this week was, how do you deal with people who are disrespectful about your sexual identity? So if you ever met somebody who you say you're a trans male or female and they said something disrespectful, or somebody who thought you were a male and really you're a stud and they done said something off and crazy, implying that you're not a woman, or whatever the case may be. Has anything like that ever happened to any of us? Had any? I know for me, I'll answer first. For me, since I look feminine presenting to people until they begin talking to me, typically. I'll say that. So usually my identity matches what I look like, so I don't have that issue a lot. So I want to know more from the homies if that's a part of your experience as a queer person.
Just to feed off you, I'm the quite opposite. Most people think I'm a male until I start talking. Right. I'm actually very feminine. Probably you can see my mannerisms.
Absolutely.
She's
a lady.
Okay.
Ow.
But yeah, most of the time, if I'm ever disrespected, it's from somebody I don't know. It may be somebody on the street. Usually one of the evangelists that's on a milk crate.
Always got to be preachers. Y'all be shaming me. Okay, go ahead.
But other than that, nobody ever says anything to my face. I don't know. But if they did, I'd say something back.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I'll just let it go. Ignorance is people gonna be ignorant.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
So Kat said y'all don't even be stepping because you're cowards anyway. Okay, what's your experience? Have you met some people who's crazy enough to be bold?
I think since times have changed a bit, so coming out and being in a life at 18 and then to now being fully grown, things were different back in the days. So now the comments that people used to make, that don't happen. A little bit more conscious. So I don't deal with it as of lately, but early on in the lifestyle, absolutely, and a lot from men. Even saying things like, "Oh, you need is a good dick. That's what's wrong with you. You're missing this pipe down."
I have heard that.
You know what I mean? Just ignorant stuff like that, or just assuming that they can turn you back straight. I could turn you back. Just ignorant
as
stuff
if you
like
ever
that.
were.
Right. You don't have now people are a bit more conscious about the things that come out of their mouth now that the society has helped educate people on gender roles and things like that. So I think now people not really saying too many outlandish things. I think more so the trans world might deal with it more than
I think so now,
we do at this point.
That's true.
Right? Because remember before, we wouldn't even hear that in music. Right? Now it ain't nothing to be like, turn that dyke bitch straight, and saying all kinds of things.
That's so
we didn't used to talk we didn't used to say those things.
That's true.
Now comedians, they can't tell jokes on gay people and all that. So
unless you Dave Chappelle, you
unless
funny.
you you can get away with it in certain cases, but most of the time you'll get blackballed for saying things. So, and I think that trickled down into society where people not really saying things. But now the trans people, I'm not trans, so I don't know or relate
that
to
full experience,
certain things. But
and that's why we're gonna have some of our trans brothers and sisters in shows coming up when we're having these conversations, because it's irresponsible to have a lot of these sensitive conversations and then have absolutely no representation. That makes no sense whatsoever. Just like white men shouldn't be talking to women about aborting their babies. Didn't mean to be a little before a moment. But so that's literally the same concept. So our trans brothers and sisters, this is to represent you as well. We are answering questions. We are removing stigma. We are educating people. So we want your voice to be heard as well. Comment, DM, whatever. We want to talk about it. And this fits that. So we support you as a community. Did we have any other fan favorite questions that came up? Anybody DM y'all? Anybody comment anything? Production, did you see one? Anything else for us to engage in before we end the sermon for this week? Because this felt like a good old church service here.
I think it was a good question. Keep those questions coming.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel? I mean, what have y'all had to deal with?
Yeah. Testimonials.
I think sometimes us being more masculine presented, we get the brunt of it if we do. A lot of feminine, most people wouldn't know that they're actually a lesbian or bi,
right?
Unless they're around one of us.
True.
So they wouldn't say it, But first thing when they come out, grandma be like, Tiny call herself being one of them dykes. How y'all old people do.
One of them
bull daggers.
What the hell is a bull dagger?
I don't know. Can somebody? I would say, can somebody explain? But somebody might have too much fun explaining where that word came from. So we ain't even gonna say. But just one real quick funny. Just think about it. Have y'all ever been out with one of your femme homegirls? And you be trying to keep a distance if she's single, so people don't assume that y'all together. So you can be a decent wingman and them not think that you up.
Or you got to play them close to keep off.
Right,
the unwanted. Yes.
True, the unwanted.
Or it could be straight, and you don't want people to think, hey, they're
she's a lesbian.
So that's true. Hey, she's straight up here. She's not with me.
That's so true. That's so true. So we be sacrificing for y'all too.
All the time.
Thinking about you.
Always looking out.
Well, just like y'all look out for us, we gonna look out for you with the next video. So drop your comments, DM us, share, put it on your story, do all them things, because we love to have you here. We want you to share it with somebody else. So get with us, and what say ye?
Black out.
Black out.